For all of our guests too, we do want to welcome you to go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. We can't see your faces, unfortunately. You might actually be enjoying that, but we still want to get to know you a little bit. So if you can put in your name, what school you attend, and share a little fun fact. Someone shared with us yesterday that they can touch their tongue on their nose, which I totally meant to try and forgot. So that's on my list for this evening. All right, awesome. And I'm going to drop the link for the pre-survey chat in here, or the pre-survey in here. So again, if you haven't already taken the pre-survey, we welcome you to do so. And I will go ahead and let Sandy kick off. Thank you all for being here this evening.
Good evening. We're going to get started here. So Amber, if you would go to the next slide, please. We would like to welcome you to the 2021 Tribal College and University Preview Days Fair. Next slide. Your hosts today include Micheline, who started us off. She is the Native Pathways College Readiness Coach, and myself. My name is Sandy Paco. I am the College Readiness Program Administrator. And also today we have Amber as well. She is managing the slides for us. For our panelists, our school panelists, whenever you want to go to next slide, you can just let her know next slide and she'll move for you. Thank you, Amber, you can go, there you go. All right. Our mission at the American Indian College Fund is to invest in Native students and tribal college education to transform lives and communities. And our vision is to support Native students' access to higher education. We were founded in 1989 and have been doing this work for 31 years. We provide scholarships, programming to help Native American students access higher education, and support and tools, especially wraparound services to schools for students to help them succeed once they get there to college. Next slide. Before we start with anything else, we do want to open up with a grounding activity to just kind of set the tone of this event. We're just really excited everybody is here, and we would like to take a moment and just welcome you to reflect on why you are here, what you hope to learn, and what you hope to leave with today. So we have Jack Soto, who is our Career Readiness and Employment Senior Program Manager, who will be doing the opening activity.
Glad you're able to join us. I wanted to take a moment just to help us sort of ground ourselves into the work of the day. So if you could just take a moment.
I think the sound just kind of, we lost the sound there, or it got really quiet.
Right. I want you to start with thinking about where you're sitting, your chair, the space around you.
Are you able to hear it now?
No, the sound went away. Give us just a moment.
Glad you're able to join us. I wanted to take a moment just to help us sort of ground ourselves into the work.
It sounds like it's still pretty quiet.
So if you could just take a moment to close your eyes. Take a deep breath.
Sure. Okay.
I want you to start with thinking about where you're sitting, your chair, the space around you.
Sandy, you're muted.
Sorry, go ahead and pause it. I can walk us through basically what Jack says to do, since we can't hear him, and that we'll just kind of roll with that. It's totally fine. So Jack asks us to just take a moment and close our eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. So let me walk you through that. All right, go ahead and close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. And let it out. And then again. And let it out. One more. Here we go. There you go. With your eyes closed, would you just take a moment and think about all of the people that have helped you to get where you are at today? Think about your family members. Think about people who have been influential in your life, who have helped you succeed. Just take a moment and think about the things they have done for you, and take a moment to be grateful for all of those wonderful things and all of those wonderful people in your life. Don't forget to breathe while you think. Take another moment and think about the place where you come from. It might be the place where you grew up. It might be the place where you currently are. Just go ahead and take a moment and think about the place you come from. It is important for us to be able to connect to the land and the place that we come from. And keep breathing while you do so. Last, I'm going to ask you to just think about the place that you want to be, where you are going in your life, the things that you are hoping, what your hopes and dreams are. Go ahead and take a moment and think about those things, where you hope to be and where you hope to go and what you hope to do with your life moving forward. Breathe while you do so. All right, let's take another deep breath all together. Here we go. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. There you go. You may open your eyes. Hopefully that helped you to just think about where you've come from and where you are going, and just give you a chance to kind of ground yourself a little bit. All right, go ahead to go to the next slide, please. Amber, can you hear me?
Yes, are you able to see my screen or?
We're on Jack's slide. Can you move to the next slide? I didn't know if my my microphone was picking up sound.
Actually moving it. I think there's something going on with my laptop.
Okay. There we go. The next thing we would like to do is just take a moment and do a land acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge that the American Indian College Fund is located in Colorado on the traditional ancestral lands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, and the Ute Nations. 48 tribes have cultural ties to the land in Colorado, and we respect and show gratitude to the original stewards of the land. All right, next slide. So today is the final day of the fair. If you look on the schedule here, you'll see that Thursday, November 4th, we have Arizona here with us today, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. We are offering prizes for students who attend the fair. If they stay and submit the post survey at the end, then they will become eligible for an Amazon Fire tablet as one of the prizes. We also have t-shirts and hoodies. So we'll be giving away one Fire tablet, and then we'll have 2 other prizes of t-shirts and hoodies in addition. Next slide. And here's our agenda. So we just did the introduction. We're going to move into the Q&A in just a little bit here. Then we're going to spend the biggest portion of their time today listening to the TCUs, the tribal colleges and universities, presenting about their schools. Then we're going to wrap up with a Q&A, and then I will be sharing some scholarships and resources that the American Indian College Fund has to offer students. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to use the Q&A feature on the very bottom of Zoom. You can also use the chat as well if you have questions. We really highly encourage the students attending today to please ask questions as the fair is going. We've told the schools they can hop on to the Q&A and answer things just as we're presenting. So we'd love to hear your questions, and we love to take the time to answer things you might be wondering about. Next slide. This is the list of the tribal colleges and universities that are present today, and this is the order that we're going to go in. All right, next slide. And last but not least, before I turn it over to Micheline, I would like to let you know that we have an online version of the Native Pathways College Going Guidebook. Throughout the presentation today, you might hear some terms that you may not be familiar with that the colleges use regularly, like COA, cost of attendance, and whatnot. If you hear terms that you're not familiar with, you can go to the Native Pathways Guidebook link. The glossary is on pages 58 and 59. Thank you, Micheline, for dropping that link into the chat. So students, that's a resource you can use right during the presentation today. Next slide. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Micheline next for the Q&A with the student ambassadors. Thank you so much, Amber.
All right, awesome. So like Sandy said, my name is Micheline, and I also work here at the College Fund. We're super excited to have all of you here. We're also super excited to have one of our student ambassadors here this evening. She's going to share her experience going to a tribal college and university. So it's my pleasure to introduce Natasha. And Natasha, if you wouldn't mind starting out by introducing yourself, telling us a little bit more about yourself. Where are you from? What TCU do you attend? And what do you study? And where are you currently in your educational journey? Are you close to graduation or graduated already?
And Micheline, would you make sure to hit record if it's not recording yet? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Yata Shikado Shidana Natasha Goltithianchia Kia Ani Nishlan Pipatoni Bashishtin Tachini Dashache and Tabahan Dashanella White Cone A de Nasha. Greetings, everyone. I just introduced myself in Navajo. I am from the Towering House and Bitterwater clan on my maternal and paternal family side. Currently, I am a sophomore or junior at Nicc College. I will be graduating this December with my Associates of Environmental Science and Agroecology. And I'm a previous student ambassador for the American Indian College Fund. And right now I'm the student commissioner for Nicc College and with the Navajo government development. I'm actually wearing their jacket right now. So I started with Nicc College in 2019, I believe, and I successfully became a student ambassador in 2020. And with the encouragement of leadership with the student ambassadorship, I've successfully became a commissioner for my tribal college. I have one daughter, her name's Tenley, she's 7. And we, let's see. Oh, I'm doing my bachelor's degree program right now. So I will be doing my bachelor's for the next 2 years. And my commissioner is a 2-year term. So I'll be doing both of those consecutively. What next, Micheline? I think I answered the question.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. We're super excited to get to know you better. So our next question is, how did you decide what school is going to be the best fit for you? How did you decide that a tribal college and university was the best fit?
Okay. My late aunt was a professor at Nicc College. She had her PhD in English. And she is the person who directed me to Nicc College, the importance of being at a tribal college. We I think one of the key components was keeping our language and focusing on how important cultural preservation is and the importance of education. Majority of my aunts, they all have their bachelor's and master's degrees and doctor's degree. And so she pointed out that tribal college would be the best fit for me. And it was convenient for me at the time because I had my daughter. And Nicc College had family housing. They had daycare for my daughter post COVID-19. They had all the resources for me, and she directed me to scholarships. I've never filled out a scholarship before, and American Indian College Fund was the first scholarship that I've ever filled out before, and I'm still with the American Indian College Fund as of right now.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Natasha. It sounds like you had a really great like community to drive you there, and then also the connection to language and cultural preservation. I saw a lot of people in the chat getting really excited about that yesterday. So I do want to encourage all of our guests too, if you want to add in comments and things you're excited about into the chat or questions for Natasha as well, please feel welcome to do so. You already kind of answered the next question, but I just wanted to make sure you don't have anything that you would like to add. You mentioned that there were some supports like campus housing for you and your daughter and other supports during COVID-19 pandemic. What other kinds of supports did Nicc College offer you to be successful?
Oh, right. I think one thing about being in a college, especially a tribal college, is be aware of your mental health. You know, I was very successful having a counselor, not only just a Navajo counselor, but, you know, she also did the importance of Sotazen Navajo prayer, you know, hearing your own language, hearing a counselor just direct you in the right path of, you know, being a student. You know, you have a lot going on within your life and your family may not be nearby. You know, you're doing this on your own, or you just don't have that support. There was that support on campus, you know, that I truly loved. And, you know, it's gotten me to this point, and I still commend counselors and mental health awareness. There was also NAC, Native American Church, on my campus that I was active, played a role in. The associated student, the ACDC, Associated Students of Nicc College. I was the STEM representative because science, environmental science was part of my degree. I was active in my school, and they supported me being a single parent. And the scholarship office, you know, they are truly active in giving you scholarships. Like, I don't know any school that is willing to help you, and Nicc College helped me even till now. So I'm really grateful for that program.
That's awesome. It sounds like they had a lot of really powerful resources that you had mentioned. And so for the guests that we have in the room, while you're listening to learn more about the tribal colleges and universities that we have here today, I encourage you to keep your ear out for these resources. A lot of TCUs have these amazing resources and unique opportunities to really feel connected and a sense of belonging on campus. And so I really like that you shared that, Natasha. Thank you. And then I wanted to ask, what advice or suggestions would you have for students who are considering where they want to go to college and who are considering a tribal college and university? How can students learn more?
Well, first of all, you know, what I love most about the tribal college, the Nicc College that I go to, is language. What more like welcoming to home? Like in Navajo, you're greeted in your own language, like Yat Eshawe or Yat Eshayaja, Yat Eshatui. You know, like to me that feels like home. And that was my first time ever going to a tribal college. the second round. The first round I didn't get greeted like that. So I think just that welcoming in your own language kind of puts you at ease. And, if you're considering a travel college, hearing your own language, hearing another professor relating the four sacred mountains, your clans, it's very heartwarming. It's very humbling, to have professors and a campus that really understands your point of view. And your research, when you conduct research, it's all surrounded about the paradigms of your school. It's implemented, it's respected. There's no negativity, which I really enjoy about my TCU, because when you're conducting a research, there's that cultural respective that really puts you at ease. I find it very cool when I do my research. I implement my cultural values. So if you're pursuing or want to do a TCU, just think about that in back of your mind, and I just love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like the possibilities are endless, and like you found a spot that you really found a sense of belonging. So we're really happy for you. So I do have one more question. We want to move forward so we can get to hearing from our TCUs that are here this evening. So my last question is, what do you enjoy most about your experience going to a tribal college and university?
Oh my gosh. I think specifically this month, it's Native American Indigenous Month. The food and the workshops, we have weavers, we have silversmith, we have well-known cooks who come to our school. Like there's the food sovereignty summit that usually happens around at Nicc College, and you get these variety of different foods from various tribes. And I think just enjoying your own food on your own land and having your school provide these workshops to come to you, and to even to the smallest things, how to card, how to do a spindle, even just those smallest things, or the meaning behind blue corn mush, the ash, that it's filled with iron, and the corn, I think just that in general kind of just makes it all the more merrier.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all that, Natasha. We really appreciate your very genuine responses, and we're super proud of you and happy for you, and really thankful that you came to share with our students this evening. And so we would like to ask you to stay on just for about another 10 more minutes. And if guests have any questions, please feel welcome to put that in the chat or into the Q&A, and Natasha can go in there and answer some of your questions. And again, Natasha, thank you so much for being here this evening and sharing your experience.
Yeah,
so
thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the next part of our event is moving into the Tribal College and University Fair portion, where we get to hear from all of our lovely panelists that you can see here. The first school represented is To'ona Adam, and we have Jay here. So Jay, I'm going to go ahead and let you take the mic.
Awesome. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm the recruiter at the To'ona Kukara Mashmakud, also known as To'ona Community College. Okay, next slide. So here are some key things to consider, when looking to enroll in college. With us, we just made the new announcement that we're going to be offering free tuition to all Native Americans as our going rate. The past year or so, we've been offering free tuition because of the pandemic, but we saw how much opportunity this provided to a lot of students to either, continue after high school or, pick it back up. So we really thought this was a great thing to continue. But for all our non-natives and natives who maybe can't provide proof of tribal enrollment, they would receive our low tuition rate of $34.25 per credit, which is the lowest, our most affordable in Arizona. We also have small class sizes, so you get more one-on-one attention with your instructor. And then also we understand people might be attending from afar or out of state. So we are offering several methods of modality. So it would be like in person if you want to, come and live in Arizona, or if you are in Arizona, and then also virtually via Zoom, and then online. So those are kind of like, you get to stay wherever you are and attend from there. We are also part of Arizona General Education curriculum. So if you finish one of our transfer programs with the 2.5 GPA or higher, then you are guaranteed admissions into all public Arizona universities. So if you are looking to transfer to the University of Arizona, Northern Arizona University, or Arizona State University, that's something to consider as well. Okay, next slide. So we offer 11 transfer programs. Some of our more popular ones are like the Associate of Fine Arts or the Early Childhood Education. And these are great segues when you do want to go on to universities and continue your education. Okay, next slide. Along with our transfer programs, we also offer Associate of Applied Science degrees. So the three we offer are Business Management, Computer Information Systems, and Early Childhood Education. And these are for the students who don't necessarily want to continue on with their education and want to get into the work field after completing their program. We also offer 8 certificates, and these pair well with either degree programs or on their own. Our most popular one is a casino gaming, because we do have a lot of tribal members. We have our own casino in Tucson and in Phoenix. So a lot of our tribal, affiliate members or employees, they come to community college and earn those certificates. Okay, next one. So like I mentioned before, we are part of Arizona General Education curriculum, but we also understand that students, once they finish at TOCC, they might not be the most familiar with four-year universities, colleges, and everything like that. So we offer our transition coordinator, Anna Marie, to assist them in this process. But she also assists them with like applying for internships, or if they want to get into the work field and stuff like that. But some of our most popular programs that we work with are like the University of Arizona, or our newest one is My Pathway to ASU. So we just encourage students to reach out to their resources like Anna Marie when they're ready to, move forward. Okay, next one. Some more of our support services for our students would be tutoring in various subjects for students. We also have dorms on campus because we are located in Southern Arizona, kind of away from big cities like Tucson. We're an hour west of Tucson, or like 3 hours south of Phoenix. So we are on the reservation. There's not many housing for like students who might be from out of state or just not from the community. So we do offer dorms, as well as advising opportunities, transportation within our sites, and then also retention support, because we understand that sometimes it's hard to keep track, or you just get caught up in your whole academic pursuits. So we have our retention coordinator, Ron, who helps students. And if they do fall behind, he is able to help you develop a plan with you and your instructor to make sure that you can keep going in your academic journey. We also have 2 libraries. One is like an agriculture library, and then the other is like our main library. And the library director and her staff are really adamant on students using their resources, and they're like, please put us to work. So they welcome a lot of students and encourage them to stop by and receive assistance with whatever they need, whether that's citations or big projects. We also offer counseling. And during the pandemic, we moved for virtual and in person, which is good. And then also we partnered with Talk Campus, and they're able to provide 24/7 support for our students. And then we also realized that students, once they move on from TOCC, resumes come into play. So we like to offer them the opportunity to develop their leadership skills and, take charge in big projects. So they are part of the student internships. Okay, next slide. And so here's just a breakdown of the cost of attendance. Like I mentioned before, we're offering free tuition to all Native Americans who provide proof. And then non-natives and natives who are not tribally enrolled would receive our low tuition rate. So this is just a snapshot of students who would be full-time, and then if they were to live on campus and then also like need assistance with transportation. Okay, next slide. So it's super easy to apply. You just visit our website, click the apply to TOCC, fill out the online application and submit. And then to complete the process, you would just need to submit the following required documents. If you wanted to be eligible for the free tuition, you would just have to make sure to submit your proof of tribal enrollment. Okay, next slide. And so here's my contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Or if you would like to explore it on your own, you could visit our website. And if you have like questions, you could also email the info@tocc.edu email address. And then if you have any issues with the application process or anything like that, you can also contact our admissions office. Thank you. That is all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay, for sharing all of that really awesome information. I do want to ask our guests to share one thing or many things that you learned about TOCC from Jay here. It's really fun to see that. I feel like over the last 2 nights, like all of us have learned so much, and it's just really fun to kind of share what we've learned. Some things that really stuck out to me were the free tuition piece, the small class sizes, and then you have a transition coordinator, which is really cool. So if you are planning on going to TOCC and maybe considering transferring to somewhere else, that can be super helpful. So we really appreciate that really awesome information. So next we are going to hear from IAIA, and that is Adriana, and I'll go ahead and let you take over.
Hi, everyone. Like they mentioned, my name is Adriana. I'm the admissions counselor for the Institute of American Indian Arts. I'm the only and the best admissions counselor. No, I'm kidding. But we're located in Santa Fe. I'll talk a little bit more about our school and the programs that we have, as well as a few other goodies that we have. So go ahead and go to the next slide. So the degrees and certificates, we are a 2-year and a 4-year degree institution. We also have graduate programs. We have studio arts, cinematic arts and technology, creative writing, museum studies, indigenous liberal studies, and performing arts. As you can see, we have focus areas in studio arts. We have one in creative writing, as we also have some in performing arts as well. And we also have certificate programs. So these certificate programs can be completed within 2 semesters, and these can be completed either online or in person. So it's up to you if you want to come onto campus or complete it completely online. You don't have to have a bachelor's program or anything to apply for these certificate programs. These will just be some type of additional learning for you. And we also have the graduate program. So we have our first one was in studio arts, and then we also have one in creative writing. And then we're also getting ready to add another one. It's not official yet, but it's in the works of cultural administration through our museum studies department. So we're definitely very excited for that. Museum studies is one of our very popular areas that people like to come to our school for, other than studio arts. So go ahead and next. So here's a little bit about student life. We have various student clubs and organizations. These are just a few to mention. We do a little bit of intramurals. So we do have intramurals with basketball. We're also getting ready to do volleyball within our own school community. And we also have an archery club who goes out and competes nationally. And we are a part of the AHEC, which is the American Indigenous Higher Education Consortium. So we're very excited for that to pick back up again. But other than that, we have other activities as far as fitness, like going hiking, camping. The professors will take the students out to different camping trips around New Mexico. I know the first trip that they did was over to Chaco Canyon. The students were out there for about a weekend, so it was really exciting. We also have various museum visits. There's tons of museums in New Mexico, and a lot of them offer free admission to natives. And talking circles are another really popular one for us. These are just community-based talking circles that we like to throw for our students just to come together, and we cook meals. So dinner is provided, and they range from all different areas. And we also have tons of cultural activities. You know, as a tribal college, we have so many students coming from all different areas of the nation, even internationally as well. And they all represent so many different cultures and bring so much tradition and diversity to our campus. And we like to see different activities. We have an annual powwow that happens in the spring, so that's going to be happening next year. And we also have a stickball tournaments as well as a sweat lodge. And these are a few of the campus facilities we have. We do have a gymnasium and a fitness center, a health clinic, counseling services. We do have residential halls and family housing. We also have a dining hall that can be accessed through meal plans where you can pay for the daily price, and a demonstration garden, greenhouse, and a small bee farm. So we do have a lot of things going on for our sustainability and wellness aspect of our campus. And we're really excited. We got our bee farms at the beginning of the summer, so that's growing very good. They're getting ready for the winter months. So next. So here's a little breakdown of our tuition and fees. So they are broken down by semester and year, by undergrad and online only. So we do have online classes for the fall semester. And also it's probably going to be that way for the spring semester. About 55% of our classes are going to be online. And there's the breakdowns for the residential hall, family housing, meal plans, and other fees. So your altogether undergraduate estimated cost of attendance is going to be just under $15,000. So that's for all 4 years. And that's very affordable because we really don't want our students to have to depend on student loans. But of course, everybody comes from different situations and we completely understand that. We just want to make sure that we give you enough resources as far as scholarships and financial aid to stay away from student loans, because I speak from experience. I'm sure everybody speaks from experience. You do not want to get any student loans. Stay away from them as much as you can. And what this include, your books are also included with this price. So you don't have to worry about looking on Amazon or other places. As soon as you get accepted and you register for classes, your books will be ready for you to pick up at the bookstore on campus. You do have to return them at the end of the year though. So it is a loan program, but yeah, very exciting thing. We also have an initiative called 15 to Finish. And what this is, if you agree to take 15 credit classes every semester of all your time for your bachelor's degree at IAI, your 4th year, which is your senior year, will be waived as far as tuition. So you won't have to worry about paying off that last year of tuition. Next. So here's the application requirements. So we do offer applications for incoming freshmen from high school and transfer students. We do have articulation agreements with many different colleges, not only around the area, but some tribal colleges as well. We work very closely with TOCC, where I'm actually going to be meeting with them virtually next month. So I'm excited for that. But definitely look into those articulation agreements. It helps you cut down on the applications. But all we need is a official application, which can be found online, the $25 application fee, and then any official high school transcripts, as well as all official college transcripts. So from any institution that you may have taken classes from, we will need official college transcripts from those. Even if it seems like the credits wouldn't apply to an art school, we would still need to have those college transcripts on file because we do report to the Higher Learning Commission. And if we don't have those transcripts on your file, then we will get audited. So it's always good to just submit those. But other than that, that's as far as it goes for the freshman application. But for the transfer, we will need letters of recommendation, an art portfolio, personal essay, and you can see that the tribal enrollment documentation is completely optional for any incoming student. We accept Native and non-Native students, but for those students who may be enrolled in a tribe, if you submit a tribal document enrollment with us, we can give you an IAI tribal scholarship, and that's, I believe, $500 per semester. So really easy scholarship for you to get, but we have a lot more than what happens with that. We have a general scholarship form. We also have a merit scholarship, which goes off of your academic performance. And with that, to mention, we don't have a minimum GPA requirement. We also don't require ACT or SAT scores. So those are definitely something to keep in mind for you. And other than that, our deadlines fall on the same day every single year. We basis. So that means that we accept students both in the fall and the spring on July 27th for the fall and January 4th for the spring. Next. I think that was it. So yeah, thank you. I know I kind of breezed through that, but if you have any questions, my contact information is right there. You can always send me an email, give me a phone call. If you're ever in Santa Fe, come hit us up. We'll take you to go get some tacos. But we also have virtual tours as well. So definitely check those out on our website. And if any TCUs want to get in contact with me as far as virtual presentations, I'm always open to those as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adriana. You really did breeze through that. I feel like I learned so much in that short amount of time. You also made me hungry for tacos, and I want to go camping too. So I saw that fact stuck out to someone else in the chat. And so I love seeing that some of you are already putting things in there. about what you've learned about IAI, and I just welcome you to continue doing that. There really is just so much information. One other thing that stuck out to me was the international student aspect that you mentioned. What a great way to build like a big community. That's really cool. So thank you again. And I do want to welcome the TCU reps to put your contact information in the chat. And that way students can have it and reach out to you as well. Also for our guests, one way to keep track of all of these contacts, because these are all wonderful people that hopefully you're going to reach out to learn more about their schools. You can take pictures with your cell phone of their contact slide or a screenshot, and it kind of works like a little digital business card. So our next school is Navajo Tech University, and we have Sherrietta here this evening. So Sherrietta, go ahead and take it away. I hope I said that right. Did I say your name correct? Oh, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
I knew that was going to happen. Anyway,
do it all the time.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sherrietta Martinez Brown. I am the first year experienced academic advisor here at Navajo Technical University. And I was asked to do this presentation, and it's an honor for me to be a part of this event tonight. So thank you for inviting the school and also for inviting myself and my colleague, Dean Geraldine Henry. So I'll get started. We are a tribal university here in Crown Point, New Mexico. And our school is located on the Navajo reservations. And what we offer are 2 master's degrees, 15 bachelor degrees, 21 associate degrees, and 24 certificate programs. So our top 5 major in each degree for our bachelor's is the early childhood multicultural education, the business administration, information technology, biology, and electrical engineering. In our associates, we have general studies, early childhood, administrative office specialist, law advocate, and construction technology. In our certificate program, we have the welding, the nursing, the construction technology, administrative office specialist, and electrical trades. And for our all online, our master's program for the management information system, our business administration, our AAS accounting, our AA general studies, our AAS mathematics, and public administration. And I have a few pictures here that are up. I have there in the far corner our dean with our provost, who are always supporting events on campus and supporting our students. And then we also have one of our students here, Deanna James, who's a very good student representative for Navajo Tech. She's always lending a hand and contributing to mentoring our students. And of course, we get students who come here and start off with maybe a certificate degree, but they enjoy the atmosphere, they enjoy the opportunities, and they want to advance themselves further and pursue a higher degree. Next. Okay, so then student life as a Skyhawk. What will it be like if I become a Skyhawk? Maybe that's something you want to ask yourself one day. Well, Skyhawks have a lot of fun, and one of the things that we do is we try to do all that we can to support our students, whether that's having fun with them or whether it's helping them to get through their academics here at Navajo Tech. So one of the things that we do have are the student activities office, where of course we have a coordinator who works with our students, whether they are living in the housing, family housings, or the dorms, or commuters. He always has activities to keep our students entertained, and also to keep them relaxed so that it's not just all about hard work in school. And then of course we have our student senate. We have our intercollegiate athletics. NTU is well known for having a cross-country team, a rodeo team who compete on an intercollegiate level. They also have the archery who compete. And also just recently they got into bike riding, cycling, I guess is what it's called. And also we also participate in tribal national organizations. For an example, ACES, Skills USA, AHEC, those are some of the organizations that our school likes to have our students be involved in. And from those, our students grow into leadership positions, or they go into being leadership models. And so that's a great opportunity that we have as a tribal university. So we're thankful to be able to participate and work with other tribal universities as well. One of the other things that I was telling you about how we help our students is we have a strong student resource here on campus. We have on main campus, we have 3 academic advisors. We have a student success center, which is called the Nicc Student Success Center, meaning it's a center where students' thinking is growing, and that's what it translates into. So there, students have the opportunity to be tutored or to be mentored, or a place to do their work, and also a place for them just to study. We do have a substance abuse and counseling counselor here. We also have accommodations, and we have a great NTU facility, meaning we have a place where students can come and play basketball, volleyball. We have an area around the campus where they can run, and then also we have a place where students can go and do their weightlifting, things like that. And we also have different gazebos around campus, a place where they can go meditate, or just to be outside, I guess. And so our campus is pretty safe. We also have certain ambassadors. For an example, we have our Miss NTU, who represents our school and goes out and promotes the tribal universities, and especially for our Navajo Technical University, but also to share knowledge, whatever they learn here at the university, they carry that out there. So that's one of the things that we have for our student life as Skyhawks. The other thing that we do here is we offer a lot of summer programs. For an example, for my program, for the first year program, I have what we call the LEAP program, which we transition students into who are just barely getting out of high school and coming into Navajo Tech as first year freshmen, and they get to have a little kind of they get to experience college life before they actually get into the full semester, and that is free to the student. We cover the cost. The other thing that we have are we work with a lot of outside nonprofit organizations, and also large companies, say like NASA, Boeing, and USDA. Those are some of the resources that we have here at Navajo Tech as well, and they provide a lot of great opportunities for our students. Next. So cost of attendance. So our tuition is for one semester, if you have a CIB, is $855. If you're a non-CIB member, it's $1,710. And everything 16 credit hours and above, you'll be paying an additional $71.25 per credit hour. We do have other fees such as activity fee, technology fee, library, athletic, and online courses. So those are just some general fees, but we also have scholarships that we always try to help our students with to cover these costs. Next. So for the admission, we do have an online application, which you can get when you press on that link. And we also have a admissions process video that you can look at in case you don't get the full information that we have here. And the PowerPoint will be available for you all in case you need information. My contact information is there. Again, my name Sharetta Martinez Brown, and my phone number, my email, also Dean Henry's information. So if you all need to ever make contact with us, we will be more than happy to help you to answer any questions that you may have. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. And again, I thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. And I think it's awesome we can all be part of a tribal university or a tribal college. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sharetta. You shared so much great information again, and we're learning so much from all of these wonderful reps. And I did want to touch on something that you said at the end there. If guests have any questions and they want to learn more, then they can reach out to her. And there are people that you can reach out to at all of these TCUs who are excited and happy to connect with you. I don't know about all of you, but I've noticed that all of you seem so excited and that you have so much pride in your communities and workplaces. And so that's really inviting. And I hope that you take advantage of that and reach out to these wonderful people. Some things that I learned about NTU, your partnerships with NASA and Boeing and USDA, that's super cool. Great opportunities for students to get connected and really put their knowledge to some hands-on experiences. So that's really awesome. And then the fact that you have a student activities office, this came up over the last few nights, but there's so many opportunities in college to get involved and learn more about yourself. And so the fact that Navajo Technical University has somebody there who can connect you with those resources is really awesome. So thank you so much for sharing, and to everyone who's sharing in the chat what they learned. So next up, we have Dene College and we have Esther. And Esther, you can go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Yate Shaya Esther Paul Unisha. Tobahalish Leto Badani Bashishchi. Tohana A Digitadoki Ani Deshanella. I'm Esther Paul. I am a student recruiter here at Nicc College and just want to share some information with you. So our slogan is success rooted in tradition. Here at Nicc College, we correlate around the Nicc educational philosophy of Sa'anagabik Ehojon. The acronyms S and BH are used a lot on campus. Everything from our campus structure to the layout of the campus, to the classroom, to the curriculum is all reflected around S and BH. That's what makes us unique as a tribal college institution. And just like Natasha mentioned, we really incorporate our Nicc values within the school institution here. Next one. So we offer 20+ degree programs. We're 6 certificate, 16 associate, and 20 bachelor degree programs. We just recently added 2 minors, which is the Native American Studies and Native Culture Arts. There are 4 schools here at the institution. Some of the popular degree programs here are our health occupation. Students, when I used to go out and talk with students, a lot of times when I asked them what kind of career you want to go into, number 1 is always nursing, number 2 is engineering, number 3 is business, number 4 is like construction, welding, and number 5 is I don't know. So here at the college, I always tell students, when you work with our advisors and our team, we find a degree program that best fits your career interests here at the college. So a lot of times students going into nursing, paramedic, pharmacy, go into the health occupation. Those with mechanical, electrical, civil engineering go into our pre-engineering degree programs. We also offer teaching degree programs here too as well. And again, our fine arts. One unique thing I like to share is that, Hot Topic reached out to Nicc College and asked our School of Arts, Humanities, and English upon partnering and designing Indigenous shirts for the month of Native American Heritage Month. And those shirts now are being sold. So 4 of our students have designed 4 shirts. If you go check it out, you'll see a little background of their history along with the meaning behind the design that they came up with for Native American Heritage Month. But again, there's a lot of potential with our students with where they go with their next career, along with opening networking opportunities. But again, that's just something that we do here at Nicc College is take advantage of those opportunities, promote it to the students. And again, it goes around your success. You can go to the next one. So we're 8 locations on the Navajo Nation. You'll find here that we do require for in-person classes COVID vaccination. We do have a lot of our classes online too as well. And here's are just some pictures of how our campus is looking now. Again, we incorporate everyone's safety. I know that is a big question that our students and parents and staff and everyone asks. So again, know that every student's safety is a big priority for us here at the institution. You can go to the next one. So admission, we're open enrollment. We don't go by ACT or SAT scores. As long as you submit the following document, which is your online admission application for students applying for the spring 2022 semester, they are waiving the $20 fee. We do need a copy of your social security card, your official high school transcript or your GED transcript or task transcripts, and then along with your any college transcripts you've taken. And then if you are an enrolled member of Native American tribe, we'll need your enrollment card or your CIB. And once those documents are in, then congratulations, you're a warrior. Some of the student services here that we offer is like career advancement. I know our team here does offer in-person internships for students to kind of just work with different areas on campus. We do offer counseling, disability support services. We have a team dedicated for you upon scholarships and grants. Know that Navajo College doesn't operate by any student loan programs. We highly encourage our students to apply for scholarships and grants and utilize your community or your nation's resources. So again, these are just some popular things that are utilized here. We do offer a Warrior Scholarship. Our administration does host fundraising events throughout the year. We just hosted a fishing and a golf tournament and put money into the scholarship fund for the students. We do offer first-year experience for students who maybe it's their first time in school and they're looking to kind of get their foot in the door to get grounded on the college foundation. So that's a great resource here on campus. We do have intercollegiate athletics and archery, cross country, and rodeo. We do have a tutoring center too as well. And of course, our veteran support services for our veteran students here too. You go to the next one. So let's talk about costs. Originally, Navajo College is priced at $55 per credit hour. We don't have in-state or out-of-state tuition rates, so that applies to everyone. And this semester and next semester, we are offering a 50% tuition discount. So everyone's going to be paying $27.50 per credit hour. On top of that, we are waiving our hidden fees, which is our application fee, our technology fee, and our student activity fee. And again, to always tell students, kind of incorporate your book costs. So this is just kind of an average range for students. And of course, supplies like a computer, your paper, and so forth with that. But this is just a little breakdown of the cost for students that are going to be attending Navajo College next semester. We do have residence life available at our Saley campus, dormitory, and then along with family housing. So if we look at the cost for a student living on campus who's a full-time student, they're going to be paying about $2,800. Commuter student is someone who's going to be going back and forth from maybe from like their residence and all, so they're going to be paying $330. Just table 2, just an example of how a student can get awarded with their scholarships and grants and kind of cover those student bill costs. And again, just an average amount of showing the student refund. But again, you can go to the next slide. So let's kind of wrap everything up. So Warrior Bound. So students, again, this is just a little diagram for you upon becoming a student here at Navajo College. Again, you'll start with admissions, work with our advising team, student services, start your student life, continue to cycle till you get to graduation or transfer to another college institution. This past summer, I met students at the flea market and some of the student workers that helped me in the recruitment office. One of them said that she applied for nursing school and she's starting nursing school this fall. The other student who applied got her associates here, got her bachelor's at another institution. Talking with her, she said, I got hired in the hospital and I'm going to be a lab technician now. So again, these are just a few success stories where students have gone here at the college. But again, like our slogan says, success rooted in tradition. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Esther, for all of that really great information. Again, I do want to invite all of our guests to put in what you learned about Navajo College into the chat. I also want to remind our panelists from the TCUs that we do have the Q&A box open and students are asking questions in there. There are some questions for you. So we just want to invite you to go ahead and go in there. As many of you can answer the questions as you would like, because sometimes things are unique at each college. But some things that I learned about Diné College, I like that you mentioned helping students find their path, and some students aren't quite sure what they want to study, which is totally common and totally normal. I myself changed my major 4 times in my undergrad, and so it's really awesome that you have people there who can support students in finding what it is that they're interested in. And then you also mentioned that you have 8 locations. That's also really incredible. So I'm happy to see what's being put in the chat. Next up, we have Little Priest Tribal College, and we have Trisha here this evening.
Hi, my name's Trisha Wagner. I'm the Director of Student Support Services, and Little Priest Tribal College, we're located in Winnebago, Nebraska. And then also this evening, Aaron Porber is here too. He's our recruiting specialist.
Hi, again, my name is Aaron Porber, and I'm happy to be part of the Preview Days Fair and represent Little Priest Tribal College in Winnebago, Nebraska. And I'll be going through some of the slides here. So if you have any questions, I believe Trisha will be online to answer any questions. If you want to just type them into the chat, and I'll just go ahead and get us started. We'll start with the next slide. Of course, there's Trisha's information and my information. Feel free to email us or reach out by phone. We enter the information in the chat as well. Next slide. Okay, so the mission of Little Priest Tribal College is established as an educational institution by the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska to fulfill its goal of its namesake, Chief Little Priest, be strong and educate my children. Next slide, please. In the Winnebago heritage of respect, integrity, and self-resilience, Little Priest Tribal College is chartered by the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, a sovereign nation, to provide higher education opportunities. The college will prepare its students to succeed in a multicultural world by emphasizing quality education of the highest level, humanistic values, and life skills. Next slide. We do offer programs, 9 programs, Associates of Arts and Associates of Science degrees. In the Associates of Arts, we have early childhood education, teacher education, Native American studies, and liberal arts. In the Associate of Sciences, we offer business, Indigenous sciences, environmental and Indigenous sciences, health, cannabis studies, and computer information systems. With those being our 9 programs, we will add 2 more programs starting next fall, 2022, and that is on the next slide. For those students who are interested in chemistry or biology, those will now become options. Next slide, please. And we offer classes this coming spring for students who may be in high school and want to take and get a jump start toward getting your college degree. We'll provide classes, and we can go right into the next slide. The dual enrollment, all you'll have to do is complete an ACE application. Know that the tuition and fees are free for all students. We'll provide textbooks and a laptop if needed. All students will be eligible for free online tutoring and counseling services. We run our tutoring through Wisant, and we have on-campus counseling through Morningstar. And next slide, please. We do have transfer agreements with Briar Cliff University, and we have a social work program there, the nursing program, and business programs which students can transfer into. We also have Wayne State College, where once a student obtains an associate's degree, they can transfer to Wayne State College, and the tuition at Wayne State College will be free. So that's a nice bonus. We also have transfer agreements with Doane University, which our cannabis studies are done through online. For those of you who have credits, they will transfer to colleges in Nebraska. but also know that our Vice President of Teaching and Learning at Little Priest Tribal College will work with any colleges to have Little Priest Tribal College credits transfer. So we want to make sure that even if you're not going to a Nebraska school and you may be going to another school, we will work at getting those credits to transfer for you. Next slide, please. So the AICF scholarship students are eligible to apply for scholarships. They're awarded every year, and we'll work with those students to find the scholarships that they need. Fantastic. Next slide, please. We are also part of the American Indian Education Consortium, AHEC. We have a slide there with the YouTube. It's kind of neat. You can look us up on YouTube and see all the fun things that Little Priest does with its students and getting to AHEC, and then all the other activities we have. So we're proud to be part of that, and it's exciting for our students. So we hope that when students come, they can get involved with AHEC as well. Next slide, please. And we have a lot of student activities. We try to keep our students really busy, and while their studies are happening, we want to make sure that when they come to our college that they have other things going on and they can have a little bit of fun. We have Wellness Wednesdays. We do study nights with our students. We celebrate Native American Month, Chief Little Priest Week. We do major holiday events with our students through student services. And we always have prizes for those who come and attend. So lots of cool things that they could come and win. Next slide, please. We just created new dorms. They are free, and the meal plan is also free. You can visit our website and take a virtual tour to see the rooms. They are brand new and absolutely gorgeous. We got a wraparound deck all the way around the dorm, so it's kind of neat. And get to know students, other students who stay on campus as well. And we'll have more pictures to come in the future here as well. So as we start to build that and put it together, I think it'll be a nice draw for students. Next slide, please. Oh, that's it, I guess. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us today, and we look forward to meeting with you. Again, myself, I'm Aaron. I'm the Recruiting and Retention Specialist at Little Priest Tribal College. And also you can get a hold of our Director of Student Services, Trisha Wagner. Our information is there.
Yeah, so that's where I just want to really emphasize it's such a great opportunity for students because we have the free tuition, and then if you do reside in the dorms, you know, there's no cost there for the dorms or the meal plan. So we have a really great advantage, and our students are really coming to us because of that, because there's not a lot of pressure too, where you have to work a lot of hours as well. So we just really want to emphasize the fact it's a great way for us to make sure students can really focus on college. We have that slide in there too about the dual credit courses. What's nice about us, we flex modality. So that means even though we're located in Nebraska, we can accept students from all over the United States because of the high flex modality. And then we do give our students a free laptop as well. So just to kind of help remove some of those barriers. So if you're a dual credit student or a full-time, part-time student, all of those benefits apply to you. So.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, both Trisha and Aaron. That was a lot of great information, and those dorms look really amazing. And it sounds like you have a lot of really awesome resources. You said that students from out of state can take dual enrollment credits through Little Priest?
Yes. So we, right now we have students from Iowa and Nebraska. In Nebraska, that ACE scholarship applies to our Nebraska high school students. It's an application they fill out with school counselors. But if you reside outside of Nebraska, we can still work with you, and you still have that benefit to receive free dual credit courses. So yeah.
That's really cool. That's definitely something new that I learned. And so I want to invite our guests to put in some new things that they learned as well. I saw a lot of excitement around the dorms and the meal plans. And then I also learned that you have some new programs coming on. So it sounds like you're expanding. I just want to take a moment to celebrate that. And again, thank you both for being here this evening. So, and just a reminder, we will have time for question and answer at the end, but there are some Q&A questions in the Q&A portion of Zoom. So I welcome our panelists to check that out and answer any that you see there. And then next we have Charles from NICC, Nebraska Indian Community College. And Charles, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Nebraska Indian Community College, NICC. First, I'd like to draw your attention to the upper left-hand part of the screen. I really like our logo. So the 4 feathers, they represent the 4 directions: north, south, east, west. The white buffalo in the middle with the letters NICC. That's actually a real white buffalo, not to be confused with an albino buffalo. And the river in there is the Missouri River, because we do have 3 campuses, and all 3 campuses are located on the Missouri River. The mountains in the back represent 4 stages of life: childbirth, puberty, adulthood, and elder. So I do like our logo. I think it's pretty cool. Moving down to the lower right-hand corner of the slide, I did mention our 3 campus locations are currently in Macy, Nebraska, Santee, Nebraska, and South Sioux City, Nebraska. And we've also added, we also have a strong partnership with Pawnee, Oklahoma. There's no question. Next slide. Okay, so we do not have free tuition. We are charging $1 per credit hour. So that means the majority of our classes will cost you $3 per class. So that's a pretty good deal. And we're hoping to be able to offer that for the foreseeable future. We did increase our number of classes. We're up to 130 now, virtual, online. We also have the dual credit program. So that way high school students can take classes with us while they're in high school. And that seems to be working out pretty good for us. We like that. The 8 degree program, 7 certificates, that'll be highlighted a little bit more on the next slide. So yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so our associate's degree is listed there in the lower left-hand corner. We are working toward taking our 2-year business degree to a 4-year degree. So it's a lot of coordination with HLC, the Higher Learning Commission. But it looks like we're on the right path. We're not seeing a lot of major roadblocks ahead for at least taking one of our degree programs to a 4-year bachelor degree program. There's in the middle is the certificates, pre-nursing level 1 and 2 in the middle. That's kind of that kind of qualifies you for a CNA, to be a CNA, certified nursing assistant. And we are currently building 2 welding shops, so we'll be able to offer welding probably the fall of 2022 or even the summer 2022. We should be offering welding. We just have to hire a couple welding instructors. We'll have everything else in place. Our academic and partners include the University of Nebraska at Lincoln and Omaha Medical Center, University of South Dakota in Vermillion, Wayne State College, not far away. We probably have most of our transfer students going to Wayne State, and also Briarcliff in Sioux City, Iowa. Again, our accreditations, I already mentioned the Higher Learning Commission, and also as well as the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. If there's no questions, then we can move on to the next slide. Student activities. We do not have athletics right now. We do have archery classes, so we might try to do something a little bit more with our archery in the future. We'll kind of see how that goes. Our archives is located in Macy, so we're working with our archives. I have not gotten real involved with the archives yet. I'm planning to, actually, we're having a class on it here on Friday afternoon. So I'll be well versed in it then. Next slide. Student support, we do have the Morning Star counseling. Below that is the Tutor Me. So that was a program we just started, and that seems to be working pretty well. A student can log on to their computer and go into the Tutor Me website and get tutoring virtually instead of having to do it face to face. That way it's available, anytime, day or night. And it seems to be working pretty well. The upper right-hand corner, we talked about the archery a little bit. We have some sewing classes that we do down in the right bottom corner. Well, if there's no questions, then you can go to the next slide. Cost of attendance, again, I mentioned the $1 per credit hour. That seems to be pretty popular. I'm working hard to get that advertised out. So we are doing a lot of advertising there. Textbooks are included in that $1 per credit hour. We do offer the laptops. We even offer Wi-Fi internet within 7 miles of each campus. So that's also a nice draw to our school. And then we have part of my views covering the slide. We do have some great incentives. So depending on if you're a 4.0 student or an A student, you can get some cash back. So that's also a nice incentive. Internships. We do have a couple of interns already working, and we'd like to increase that. So it's just got to be a little bit of timing and finding some instructors and staff who want to take on an internship. So it's a work in progress, but I think it's a good way for students to earn a little bit of extra money while going to school at the same time. Okay, next slide. I mean, I'm out of time. Try to breathe quickly.
You've got a little bit of time left.
Okay, we are open for registration right now for the spring semester. So we're hoping everybody will register with us. Next slide. Here was one of our classes we did with Iowa State. They came to our facilities. So we have Iowa State students there and Iowa State professors there, along with NICC professors and NICC students. It was a soil health workshop, a real fun day, great day for everybody. You can see in the background, we have some of our orchards there, and this is on the Santee campus. So we have our apple trees in the background, some of our native grasses beyond that, and the tall fences. The tall fences are to keep the deer out. And if you look to the very far left of that screen, you can kind of see our solar panels. We just put in new solar panels on Macy campus and the Santee campus. I wish I had a better picture of the solar panel. If there's no questions on that slide, we could go to the next slide. Okay, anybody who is interested in registering, here's our student services team. Each campus has at least one student services representative. And again, if there are no questions, I guess this concludes my brief.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Charles. That was a lot of really great information. And once again, I learned a lot. All of our guests in the chat, you know what to do. Put in what you learned, something new. That would be awesome. You've been sharing so much, which has been cool. And some things that I learned, that $1 per credit hour is really incredible. I think we've all learned that tribal colleges and universities can be a really great financial fit. They are super affordable. definitely something to look out for. Something else that really stuck out to me was that 24/7 tutoring. I know some students when I was in college who would kind of wait until the assignment was due at like midnight. And so maybe you need tutoring at 10 p.m. That's not always available. So that's really cool that you have that opportunity. So yes, thank you so much, Charles.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and Sandy's going to tell us about American Indian College Fund scholarships.
All right. The American Indian College Fund offers over 200 scholarship opportunities throughout the year for students attending both mainstream universities and schools, as well as tribal colleges and universities. On average, our funding per scholar is about $2,500, but we do have awards that are worth as much as 2 or 3 times more than that. Students only need to submit one application when they go to our website. Micheline will put the website in the chat there. So you'll go to our main page and then you'll see a tab that says students. And if you click on the student tab, there's a scholarship page underneath that. And all you have to do is fill out one application and it makes you eligible for all of our scholarship opportunities, which is a really cool way to apply to a lot of scholarships with just one application. I would recommend that students apply early. Our application is open from February 22nd to May 31st, so you want to apply sooner than later to make sure that you get that done. And you will need a nice profile picture and an image of your tribal ID or proof of tribal descendancy to complete the application. I highly recommend that students sign up for our newsletter. If you go to our website, we have a newsletter that students and our partners can sign up for to learn more about the College Fund and different opportunities we have. For example, we do FAFSA webinars throughout the year on how to complete the FAFSA. FAFSA opened up just last month. Hopefully students are starting to think about that and getting ready to fill out their applications for FAFSA now and increase their chance of getting a Pell Grant, as well as apply for other financial aid opportunities. So that newsletter will keep you updated on all of the scholarships that we offer, and it will just be a great reminder for when the deadlines are. I know that if I hear something once, then I tend to forget about it, especially when my life is getting really busy. So I like to have like multiple reminders just to remember that, hey, something important is coming up. Well, the newsletter that the College Fund has will help you to remember when the scholarships are. And if you're a partner, it's a great opportunity for you to sign up for that newsletter and be able to share that information to prospective students that you may be in contact with. You can also follow us on social media for more information. Next slide, please. Along with our scholarships, we have other resources for supporting students on their college journeys. One of the best resources that we have that I'd like to recommend to students is the Native Pathways College Going Guidebook. This is what the guidebook looks like. At the beginning of the presentation, we gave you a link to the guidebook and let you know there's a glossary on pages 58 to 59. It says 69, I know, it should say 59. But in addition to the glossary, this guidebook has a lot of just really great resources for students, like what do you need to fill out the FAFSA? Like what information should you have when you sit down to fill out the FAFSA? How do you read a financial aid award letter? How do you choose a college that's going to be the best fit for you? All of those questions are answered in the Native Pathways guidebook, and one of my favorite parts about the guidebook is that it's really culturally relevant. There's a lot of really great resources and articles from Native elders and just different leaders from across the Native community in the guidebook. So I really highly recommend that students go to the website and check that out. Thank you for dropping the link for that in the chat, Micheline. All right, and next slide. We are going to take a little bit of time now to answer some of the questions that are in the Q&A chat. So I'm going to pull up the Q&A chat. Students, if your question didn't get answered, please feel free to hop on the microphone at this moment. I'll get quiet in just a moment. And if you want to jump on the microphone, you can let us know what your question is, or you can re-ask it again in the chat or the Q&A. So I'm going to invite Micheline as well as the TCU reps to go ahead and just kind of look through the chat, look through the question and the Q&A feature in Zoom. And let's go ahead and answer some of those student questions. One of the questions that I'm seeing here is that if a student is planning to go directly to a large non-tribal university, what would you say might be the pros and cons of that versus starting at a TCU? Are there any representatives that would like to just kind of hop on? I'd like to welcome you to answer that question if you feel like you've got a great answer for that.
I can go ahead and share. We've had students who initially started at a larger university and then they transferred to Little Priest Tribal College, and they just talked about how at a tribal college they felt there was more support. They felt like they could be themselves. They also talked too just about the additional funding that we can support students, because we do have the emergency aid. So they felt like their needs were more met at a tribal college.
Thank you. That's a great point. If there's anybody else that wants to hop on, I'll be quiet for a moment and give you a chance to hop on, TCU reps.
I did want to say too, I saw that we have some TCU students who are actually attending, and they've been talking a little bit in the chat. If you feel comfortable and you're interested in sharing, the pros and cons to you, like what contributed to you choosing a tribal college and university, please feel welcome to share that in the chat. It's super helpful for students who are kind of going through this college decision, because it can feel like kind of messy or abstract. And so it's kind of helpful to hear from others. I also want to encourage you all to check out the Native Pathways Guidebook. One of my favorite pages is all about finding the best college fit. So what's going to be the best fit is really kind of like your own personal experience and journey. And so I recommend taking a look at that, asking yourself some of those questions that are in the Native Pathways Guidebook to help you guide yourself in making that decision. Sharetta, did you have something you wanted to add?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add, well, I was just going to answer the question that they had about the pros and the cons. So one of the things that one of the recommendations I usually give my students is I would tell them, like get your foot in the door with your university or your college life. Adapt yourself into it slowly, because if you just jump into it, you tend to not, you kind of get scared, and then it makes you think twice about your decision, or you have anxiety and stuff like that. But going into a tribal college or university, I think it makes you a lot more comfortable with the atmosphere. It's affordable, and it also will give you more motivation, because you have that cultural background, you have that cultural knowledge, and you have that relationship that you develop with your instructors, your staff, your faculty, and they treat you like family. They give you that encouragement that you can't get at another Western university. And I think that's what helps motivate a lot of our students to adapt into that college life and university life. And so you start to develop yourself as a college or university student. So by the time you get that experience, you're ready to go into that Western atmosphere. You have the confidence, you have the knowledge, you have the tools, you have the resources. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you. Are there any other questions as we close up? Students, I encourage you to stay on. In just a minute, we'll put up the post-survey link again, just to make sure that you become eligible for our prizes. But I just wanted to pause just one more time and see if there were any other questions.
I'm not seeing any other questions right now, but I do just want to draw everyone's attention to the chat. We do have some TCU students who are actually sharing a little bit about their experience in making a college choice or finding the right fit. And some of them who even attended some of those larger mainstream universities, and they can kind of share a comparison between those two different experiences. And I do also want to say, if you are considering going to a mainstream college or university, that is also totally awesome, and we fully support you. And like I said earlier, what's going to be the best fit for one student is going to look different for every other student. So we just encourage you, if you need any support throughout any of those processes of finding the right fit and enrolling in college, that you reach out to representatives like the ones that you met today, or if you're looking at other colleges and universities, you reach out to them as well.
Right, let's wrap this up by going to the last slide, please. The post survey is here. Students, remember, when you complete the post survey, you become eligible for prizes. If you took the post survey the nights before, I believe, Micheline, they don't need to retake the post survey again. So you only have to take the post survey once to become eligible for prizes. We are giving away one Amazon Fire tablet tonight, and then we will be selecting students for t-shirts as well as hats. We'll probably be getting back to you next week when we do the drawing. We will be doing the drawing not during the live event, so we can gather all of the attendee data, but we will be reaching out to you if you win one of these prizes. I would like to just encourage you to follow us through social media. We are on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We also have our newsletter, as I mentioned earlier. These are great ways to just learn more about the opportunities that we have for our students, for our TCUs. We do offer grants for our schools and whatnot too. So make sure to follow us on our newsletter or social media so you can kind of stay in the know on what's happening with the College Fund. We really enjoyed having you tonight. So thank you everybody for attending and being such a great audience. Students, you ask wonderful questions. Thank you to the TCU students who are answering questions in the chat. We really appreciate your attendance too. And to our TCU reps, thank you so much. I learned so much tonight by your presentations. All right, I think that wraps it up for tonight. We will be sending information about all of the presentation. So we will be sending the recording at a later time, as well as sending you the important links that were shared tonight as well. We hope you have an excellent evening, and thank you for attending the 2021 TCU Fair. Have a good night.